So now we're going to cover cables. Thankfully there isn't a huge selection of cables, it's just a lot of different lengths of cable. So first off, we're going to talk about speak-on cables because they're the furthest down on the left. These speak-on cables are very thick cable and they're used for powering monitors. You may notice all of our cables are nicely wrapped over under, which I'll show in a minute, or link a YouTube video because they can probably teach it better than I can. And they're Velcro tied to keep them nice and circular. So it's very easy to go pull off one cable. So you may notice they are twist lock, meaning you have to put them in there and twist them. But that means when you go to unlock them, this little gray bit, you pull back on it and you twist. I'll demonstrate in a minute with a monitor when we get into monitors. But know that these cables are for monitor speakers, which when I get into that I'll explain. But this is the cable for that. We also have a few 1/4 inch cables. I would really like to get a couple more of these because we only have 2. But these are used for going from instrument to DI box. And we also have a type of monitor that can use these 1/4 inch cables, but no, these are mainly instrument cables. Then we have XLR. That's the main type of cable we use here. Almost everything takes XLR in sound. And we have lengths varying from 15 to 50. Same with speak-on, we have lengths from 10 to 50. And XLR is just 3-pin male, 3-pin female, and they couple together so you can daisy chain these cables out ad infinitum. Now you may notice with the speak-on, both ends are male. You can't couple them together. So we have couplers for that. There's a bag, currently labeled adapters, filled with adapters for coupling speak-on to speak-on. We have a bunch of other adapters, and that'll probably be a little 4-minute sub video on its own or tacked on to the end of this one. But just know if you need speak-on to go together, you have to get one of these barrel adapters and just put them together. The floor mics, I said, also take a special cable, and they're labeled up here as floor mic XLR, but none of them are on here because someone hates me, but I believe there is one over, there's one right here.
Here's one too.
Okay. That's another thing. I know I won't be here so you don't have to deal with my pet peeves, but during productions, people often come in here and throw cables on the mic table, and they wrap them later, which is fine, but when they wrap them, they don't put them back in the right place, so when you run in here in a production in a hurry to grab something, it's not where it's supposed to be. These floor mic cables are male XLR on one end, and are female this on the other end. It's like XL4F, don't quote me on that. And I'll make an addendum later clarifying what that is, but I'm pretty sure it's XL4F, and it's just used for floor mics. These cables on this wall are used for running, like running across the stage. Over on this pipe where we had the comm headsets, we have some smaller versions of both cable. We have smaller speak-on and smaller XLR, and we use those for patching, which I'll probably get into a video or 2 from now. And this has been a fairly short video, so we'll not get adapters in it. So, we have the speak-on adapters, like I said, and we also have gender changers, which do exactly what they say. They change the gender of the XLR. Right now, this XLR is female on one end, male on the other end. Now, it's female on both ends. Or we have this one where we can make it male on both ends. And this is really useful for getting out of pinch situations. I'll give some examples of those later, but just know all these adapters and gender changers live inside of this bag. They're also mic stand changers. You'll see when we get into mic stands a couple videos from now that you almost always have to have one of these for a mic clip. And there's even an adapter for a type of monitor. We'll get into monitors in just a second. We also have adapters for niche use cases for body mics. So body mics can do more than just transmit sound from microphones. They can also, man, this bag is a mess, go from 1/4 inch into here. I used this recently for a very active gig we did. We had bands moving on and off stage very fast. So I put the guitar player on this, And that means the guitar player could walk around and play the guitar. He could walk through the audience and play the guitar if he wanted to. Anywhere this wireless is good, his guitar is picking up. This can also be used on pianos, so you just have the power to worry about. And we also have the same adapter for PAC to XLR. That way you could take a 57 or a 58 and plug it in here and go around with that as a wireless mic in case you need an extra wireless mic. Now, this PAC cannot provide phantom power, meaning dynamic mics are the only mics that this adapter will work on. That's our adapters.